if I look at the things that I've become consistent in, it all starts the same way. I set a goal that seems a little bit too ambitious for me. Then it needs to be a realistic, too ambitious goal, right? Realistic and a little bit too ambitious. Those parts are key. Then I achieve the goal. Then I realize it wasn't that hard or that impossible. And I basically shattered that mental barrier, and I keep going and moving up on that momentum. That's how I became consistent with a lot of things. So we're going to do that. I'm going to record 7 days straight. I'm going to record what I'm doing in a day. And I'm going to talk. And this is going to work. And this is how I become consistent in making videos. It's also about idea generation and making it a good video, showing who I am through my videos. I know that's important, but it's also important to post. I mean, if I don't post, no one sees anything. So what's the point? What is the point? I've been asking myself that a lot lately. Just not what is the point of making videos? What's the point of life? I have been feeling a little bit off. I'm thinking about the future and stuff, right? If you've seen my past videos, I literally have like 2 viewers on average. But if you're like one of those viewers that have seen previous videos of mine, you kind of know what I'm talking about. I've set these goals for myself, moving out in about 2 years, moving in with my girlfriend, traveling. It all costs a lot of money. How am I going to make that money? I'm going to get a job through applying and stuff. I'm going to do a lot of courses and make myself job relevant or anything. Get a job, work a lot in my respective field, what's aligned with my study. Work a lot, make money, and get to that goal. In the meantime, while that's happening, I also want to build a YouTube business so that I can, make more money, I guess, but also help people, because I feel like helping people is also very important. I always feel fulfilled when I help people. I still am a football coach at this club, and it makes me so happy to see kids, improving every single week. It was winter break, so we didn't really have football. But now it starts again, new season, new kids, and I get to teach those kids how to play football. And it's very fulfilling for me, teaching kids to play better football. And I also want to teach other people just other stuff, life, having a bigger impact. I feel like that's something that I want to do as well, next to the money that content creation makes. Yes, that's literally almost everything. I feel like there's a lot of pressure for me to get out of the house and to, be a provider for my future family. Just all these big goals, and I need to work towards them. Every single day is counted. So I started thinking I need to do something every single day. I can record every single day. In principle, I mean, I could. Content creation is something that I've always wanted to do since I was a little kid. And, it seems doable. I can do it. I believe I can. Not just recording, but, showing a piece of myself, and we relate, and finding a community. There's a lot of things packed into just these YouTube videos. Another thing that is very on my mind is, what's the point of life? Literally, what's the point of my life? I have been thinking about this for quite some time, actually. It's not always as upfront like it is now, so I'm not constantly thinking about it all the time, but I have had these thoughts. What's the point of my life? Why am I on this earth? When I look at my future, it's kind of, I'm working towards something that's not going to fulfill me, almost. I'm scared it's not going to fulfill me. I don't feel any fulfillment. I feel very, at this point in time, I feel very lonely right now. It feels like everyone around me doesn't share the same vision as me, and it just makes me feel alone. Even though I haven't, it's so funny because I think I have more close connections than ever. I have a girlfriend, mom, dad, brother, little brother. I have very close friends who I can share essentially everything with, which I didn't have ever in my life up until this point. So I'm more socially connected than ever, yet I'm lonelier. I feel lonelier than ever. And it's purely because of, I think, I don't feel like I'm surrounded with like minded people. I don't want to sound arrogant, by the way. I guess people will think that, oh, no one's as ambitious as you, or no one is as focused on their goals, or all that stuff. No, it's just simpler. I can't explain it, but it doesn't feel like I have anyone that has. No, let me phrase it differently. Everyone is around me that I'm connected with feels a bit too different for me. Of course, I can have fun. We can still connect on a certain level, but I kind of miss a connection with someone that, you know, I don't know. I call it visions and perspectives and morals and values and ideas and stuff, way of life, the way you see life and stuff. I miss someone that's in that space, and I used to think I had those people around me, but then I started looking at things objectively from another lens, not from social needs and validation, but from actual, how do these people look at certain things, and how do I look at certain things? And then you start to realize, like, there's not that many people around. It feels like I'm constantly surrounded by people who think different things and always think they're better than, No, wait, I know it now. I feel like I'm surrounded with people who always push their own opinions up on other people. And that makes me feel like I'm so different and, an outcast. Well, there's nothing really wrong with being, I guess, a sort of outsider. But everybody shares their opinion and stuff, and that's fine. You can have your own opinion, but it feels like there's no room for my opinion in other people's worldview. It makes me feel so alone. Constantly, when I'm surrounded with these people, I just feel friction to be around them, and I kind of naturally distance myself from them. My mom and dad ask me, why are you not around? Like, yeah, fuck what you talking about? Every time I'm around them, it's always, I need to do something. I need to clean the dishes. I need to wash the floor. I need to do something. When I'm upset, I tell them I'm upset, and they're just rage baiting me or just, belittling me. I've gotten so off topic. I'm so sorry. I wanted to talk about why I'm making 7 videos. I'm going to post a video every single day for 7 days. Why I think that's the correct choice. I wanted to talk about consistency and how it worked for me. I wanted to talk about, some other things. Bro, I'm sorry, this video is taking too long. I'm just going to show you the what I recorded in the morning, and then that's it, bro. That's it. I'll see you guys in the next one, I guess, because I'm still learning to record everything. Okay, I'll see you guys in the next one. Because sometimes I genuinely feel like there's no point in my life. I could just, I know people care about me and stuff, but I just don't care about my own life as much. I feel like there is going to be, I'm working towards financial freedom, but even when I get financial freedom, I don't really I feel like, I don't know. It feels so weird to say, but it feels like there's no point in living, if that makes sense. I know I'm probably too privileged and stuff. And you can say whatever, that I'm too privileged and that I'm spoiled because I have a roof above my head. I have warm clothes that I can wear. I have money to spend and stuff. But it genuinely feels like there's no point. I realize that I'm very privileged in terms of I could have also been born in a third world country where I barely get any food and they're struggling to survive. And I'm here like, oh, what's the point of life? I realize by kind of keep getting back to that question, like, what's the point of my life? Isn't it just easier to, I don't know, kill yourself? I'm not saying that I would, but isn't it easier? I mean, there's going to be a lot of suffering. There's going to be a lot of disappointment. I have very high bars for myself. I mean, at least in terms of my current level of discipline, willpower, and stuff, and motivation, I have very ambitious goals. And I don't feel like life is worth living if I don't get any of those in check. I feel like I'll be disappointed. I feel like I'm walking a road that's destined to fail. And sometimes, it's not all, I don't always think like this. It's destined to fail. Sometimes I can convince myself for a while that it's going to be fine and I'll make it. But most of the time, I just feel disappointed in myself. I'm constantly being represented my flaws. My flaws are just handed to me, like, constantly. Like, it feels like such a high barrier to improve everything, to become a decent human being. What's the point? It sounds very extreme, but I'm trying to do this as radically as I can, or just as logically, because there's so much suffering, mental suffering, that you go through life, that most people go through. Some people don't, but what's the point if I look at my life and I eventually get to live with my girlfriend? I get to make all this money. I get to, if I achieve everything that I wanted, making lots of money, living on my own, living with my girlfriend, what am I doing it for? She could leave me. I could go bankrupt. I could, a lot of things could happen. Why am I doing all this? It's like, what's the point? I don't know what the future holds. That's why I'm still trying. But if I don't see a future where I'm thriving, why would I continue? Just being a hollow shell of what I wanted to become. You think I want to live that? Fuck's sake. Becoming like a shell of the man that I want to be. Nah, that's not for me. That's not for me. I refuse. That I'm 30, 40 and I work a job that barely pays and I need to pay my bills, like that barely pays the bills. I have to work 40 hours, 50 hours a week, like putting in extra work and also in the weekends, just working, barely paying the bills. Wife cheats on me. Life in shambles. What do I do at that point? I look at myself in the mirror, my balding head, with fear, with just constantly anxious, constantly insecure. I look at myself in the mirror like being a shell of the man that I wanted to be. I wanted to be this, aesthetically pleasing, rich man with a beautiful woman around his arm. driving his fast car. Not even fast. It doesn't. The fast car is just for context, but this is not really a necessity. Having this beautiful home, traveling around the world, and then eventually getting old with my wife, having kids, grandkids, getting around the table, explaining how I became how I became, what I became, what I have become, how I got to that point. That's something that gives me joy, I guess. That's my goal. But some part of me says, is that it? Is that it? I know that's a very beautiful life that I have ahead of me, that I could achieve, that I can attain. But some part of me says, is that it? Isn't there more? Am I really that greedy? Well, I guess I have to think about it more, but it's just some thoughts. Don't take it too seriously. It's some thoughts. We'll see how it goes. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll see you tomorrow, I guess, because I'm making a video tomorrow.